Anything crypto, I think. Sell. Help me here! I can't stop!
GM and welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're taking a look at the Litecoin halving just over 1 month out from now. So this is quite an interesting one, a bit of a prelude to the Bitcoin halving in 2024. Litecoin, of course, going through its third halving. Bitcoin will go through its fourth. Litecoin shares a proof of work algorithm just like BTC. However, you can see the discrepancies here. 84 million coins in total for Litecoin, 21 mil for BTC. But that halving structure, that issuance being cut in half, exactly the same. So this is why people say it's kind of the silver to Bitcoin being the gold. And it does give us a bit of an insight as to the Bitcoin halving. But let's look at some data in this video to see if it's bullish or bearish going into this just about 35 days out. If you do enjoy this one, make sure you subscribe to the channel. So over the last few weeks, the story has changed very much here for Litecoin, and I've actually got some cool information because I did film a video before the Bitcoin dump. So the whole regulatory FUD storm that came in around here, the 10th of June, I'd previously filmed on the 9th of June a Litecoin video and didn't get it out in time for that. And so it kind of ruined that initial video, but it does help in terms of I've got some cool data to share with you in this one. Now into that, you can see from around here, start of May, this is the Litecoin chart versus BTC. So in Satoshis, it's gaining in Satoshi value, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and then it did collapse, but it was showing significant strength in the market versus Bitcoin. So that is a very good bellwether. However, since then, of course, 7-day chart here, not looking so great. So is this a good trade or a risky trade at this point in time? Well, I think as we progress closer to the halving, this gets more and more risky of a trade. A lot of people get into Litecoin just for this trade alone. And as those days tick on by, it seems like it becomes a bit of a game of chicken. More data on that in just a moment. So if you check out nicehash.com, they suggest we are 36 days away from the Litecoin halving, the 1st of August 2023. But if you go to the official Litecoin halving website here, that suggests 37 days away, Wednesday the 2nd August, for that halving event to take place. So a little bit of a discrepancy on that one. Just looking through the Google Trends on the Litecoin halving as well, quite interesting here. There's this kind of thesis that over time, the older coins will fade into insignificance and they will eventually trend towards zero. Of course, not going to go to zero entirely, but lose value over time. I think that is a good thesis. And as you can see, this is the previous halving of Litecoin back in 2019, and this is where the peak Google search terms hit for that coin. As you can see, moving into this Litecoin halving, it's only registering a 17 at this point and peaked at just a 20. So interest in this one, according to Google, as one data source, suggests less interest in Litecoin. Now over on Messari, there's some interesting data here. On March 27th, 2023, the US Commodities Futures Trading Commission, so the CFTC, not to be confused with the SEC, those two bodies kind of trying to carve up the crypto space at this point, but the CFTC stated that Litecoin is a commodity, not a security. So this is an interesting point, yeah? What we have and what we're seeing here is a lot of TradFi funds going into Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash. You may have heard Gensler uttering those words himself.
Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash.
The SEC realizes it's a security.
Why did I name those four? They're not securities.
And so these coins are getting some traction off the back of, they're regulatory friendly. You can invest into them if you're a big TradFi fund. Seemingly not too many issues. So over time, yes, maybe there still is bid in the market for Litecoin. I do think it's a bit of a dinosaur, but the fact it could continually get bid from TradFi bros buying into these large cap funds, well, of course, I don't think it will die out overall. I just believe there's better bets to be making in the markets. Now here is where things get a bit more interesting. Let's go down to this. So the revived supply on Messari, a really cool data point here. So the piece I want to show you is this one here. So Litecoin revived in the last 24 hours, i.e. coins on wallets that haven't moved since over 1 year ago, but have done so in the last 24 hours, 203,000 of them, which is a lot. Now, if I pull up the video I did previously, which was unreleased, you can see the figure there. So you can see my head on the screen there. So I filmed that one back on the 9th of June. And the figure for that is last active 1 year ago, 2,500 tokens only. Let's close that out. 2,500 versus 203,000 tokens. So this is showing us that recently a lot of coins that have been inactive for over a year, and if you go back 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, not too much of a difference here, most of them that have been accumulated a year out at least have started to become active yet again. Now, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but I do not believe that people are depositing their Litecoin into DeFi to lever up on more Litecoin. I think they're getting ready to sell. So this is why I think this is quite a very risky trade on Litecoin, although I would like to see a major Litecoin pump just for the meme alone. So price chart action here, we have halving 1, August 2015. There it is, 24th of August 2015, somewhere in and around that date. Then we have Monday the 5th of August 2019. That is the halving number 2 here, and halving number 3 is coming somewhere around the 31st of July, maybe 1st, maybe 2nd of August there. First thing to notice, you can see between halving 1 to halving 2 a huge markup in price. So the peak price just before the halving was around $9 for Litecoin, and then in the second halving it peaked out in the 2017 bubble at $376. Just before the halving though, it peaked out at 142 with a nice rally into it. And then in this last cycle in 2021, that was May, it peaked out around $400. And then going into this rally pre-halving, it's not got past around 105 at this point. But let's look at halving number 1 here. So August of 2015. So what you'll notice on the chart here is there's a big volume bar coming in. So that comes in around the 6th of July that week. So around 6-7 weeks out from the halving event, a lot of buy interest is coming in and we peak out here. So I use the tool here. What we can see is the peak is there, Monday the 6th of July during that week, which was 7 weeks out, Litecoin peaks. So it peaks 7 weeks out, and then we have a sell-off into the event. So a sell the news event, something also familiar with crypto projects. So the profile there, volume in, 7 weeks out, we peak, and then a slow grind down into the halving event. Halving number 2 here, let's pull this one up. Again, what are we seeing? We're also seeing a big uptick in volume here. This comes in quite a bit earlier, however, and the peak comes out here. That is the 17th of June, 2019, that week. And that one again, 7 weeks out before the halving number 2, Litecoin peaks. That was a price of 146. So volumes coming in, people getting excited for the halving trade, goes up quite a lot there. That's a pretty parabolic move. And then it peaks out and again, slow grind down into the actual halving event there. So again, sell the news event in halving 2. Now, what do we have in halving 3 here? Coming into the end of summer of July 2023 / early August 2023. Well, notably on the volume at the bottom there's nothing major really coming in terms of a historical sense. If I just pull that across a little bit, you can see some volume does come in here, but that was in October of 2022, pretty much marking the bottom there around the FTX stuff into November. But for me, no significant bid really coming in for this coin. Check the volume at the bottom there, not a lot going on. Now we seemingly have peaked thus far around the 13th of February, which is a hell of a long time out. That's 24 weeks before the halving. What happened 7 weeks out from the halving? This time round, 7 weeks out was around the 10th of June. That is when Bitcoin really shit the bed there. And we actually had this nasty wick down on Litecoin. It actually puts in almost a new low at just over $71 there. So is this trade already cooked or not? You can see the kind of trajectory of the highs. We're kind of getting a double topping pattern there. And then some higher lows have come in. We haven't as yet broken above $94. I would like to see this cracked in terms of us getting a bit of a pump into the halving event, but it certainly is shaping up to be a different halving than the previous two. There's a lot of confluences between the previous two. This one's shaping up a bit differently here, but what makes you really nervous is the fact you're seeing a lot of coins starting to move on chain, coins that have been inactive, and so a lot of people who are positioned for this are waiting to try and sell the news on this one. So potentially what you could see is a lot of traders be trapped here if it doesn't really start to pump, and some big red cascading candles have to come in because people want to get out of their positions. So for me, just looking across there, eyeballing it, bearish below about $100 on Litecoin. If we can get an uptick from BTC and across the wider market here, maybe some more TradFi funds decide to invest in Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ether, Bitcoin Cash, there's a potential this can get a further pump into the actual halving event here. But at this moment in time, this looks like a bit of a risky trade in my book, and one that I'm not willing to now take. which is quite funny because in the previous video around that 9th of June date, as it was putting in higher highs and higher lows versus Bitcoin, and it was just at this point with this big red candle comes in. Imagine this was a green candle here, maybe we've got a spike up here. It doesn't look so bad. So you can see the winds of change in the crypto market take hold quite quickly. And so for me personally, I will not be pursuing this one, but I'd love to know down below in the comment section, are any of you in this trade and what are your expectations this halving? Bit of hopium here though. This is a Litecoin versus Ether posted by Dan Crypto Trades just earlier, saying look, in this kind of falling channel, Litecoin versus ETH has now come to the top of its range. Of course, ETH is a little bit weak against Bitcoin right now, so do take that into consideration, but it could actually get a breakout from here. And as a result, this could have a nice breakout on it versus ETH. So Litecoin maxis, let me know your opinions on this one down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.